Hey guys, what's going on? Mumu here, and we are back on Questing Mayhem again. However, this is not the world that I've been playing on. This is actually a completely different world. I'm basically using this for a tutorial real quick, just to kind of give you a heads up on something that you're gonna need, especially when it comes to ore collecting. When you come into the ore collecting, you're gonna start seeing recipes that's gonna call for a lot of copper, a lot of gold, a lot of iron, a lot of diamonds, a lot of stuff, okay? I am not even joking. Even in the details description on the Twitch board, whenever you go to download Questing Mayhem, it even says, and I quote real quick, that on the overview part, if it'll load, come on, load up, there we go. For example, to make another star generator times 64 from extra utilities which are required to make, you need over 4,000 stacks of basic survival generators, or 57,000 stacks of iron. That's the actual thing, okay? That is actually in the overview part on the Questing Mayhem, on the Twitch board, if you want to download the mod pack, okay? So that already tells you, hey, at some point during the playthrough, you're going to need at least 57,000 stacks of iron. And that is actually what I'll be doing in this tutorial real quick today. So, I have my trusty hammer. I have a little space here that I've placed out for our enjoyment. I have our smelter here. I have these stacks of iron. So let's say, for instance, at the very beginning, you've gone through and you've gotten yourself 2 solid stacks of iron, okay? Pretty simple, pretty basic. 64 stacks, that's 128 iron. In the smeltery, that is then doubled to 256. So, just real quick, just to kind of go through this, this is actually 2 full stacks. This is a 2 tall 8x8 stack setup for iron ore and all that kind of stuff. So let's say you went ahead and got this. Go ahead, get your it used to be vein miner, now it's a excavator. After the last reset, after the last update, we got excavator. So go ahead and have your excavator thing all set up, and then boom, there you go. You have these broken iron ores. Now you may be thinking, well, that's about the same as it was for like Sky Factory and Stone Block and all that kind of stuff, so I can throw these into the smeltery. Wrong, okay? You cannot put these in the smeltery. They will go in, but they will not smelt whatsoever. So it is absolutely pointless to try to put those into the smeltery. Now, another thing. You may have also noticed that we now have what seems to be a little bit more, which is actually completely correct. So when you craft these down, you're going to get the iron ore gravel. Okay, it's the same thing as regular iron ore. Each one of these iron ore gravels will give you 2 ingots. So, as soon as I finish the whole crafting recipe real quick, we will see that we now have 16 more iron ore gravel. So that automatically gives us an extra 32 iron ingots. Now you may be thinking, that's actually really, really good. And then you can go ahead and smelt them. Don't do that just yet. You want to know why? So, what you do, after you've gotten down to gravel, now I have myself a wand here because I opened up this world in creative, so it's like, hey, I have a little bit of extra here. But, I mean, I'm just doing this to kind of show you what you can do. So, you place down all your iron ore gravel, you get your trusty hammer out again, excavate it, and you're going to have to do it a few times because excavator is not as good as vein miner is, so you can't just continue on. But now we have even more. We now have crushed iron ore. So this will give you the sand variable. So at first it starts with stone, then it goes to gravel, then it goes to sand, and then after sand you can take it one step further and give yourself dust. And when you get to dust, that's when you can smelt it. So, at this point, we started out with 2 solid stacks of iron. We now have an extra 38. Okay, that is 76 extra ingots that we got from this little experiment here. And we're not even done yet. We still have one more little segment to go through. And I kind of I kind of fucked on the whole placement there. So I do apologize on that. Little hiccup on my part, but here we go. Now we place down all the sand, we get our trusty hammer out again, we've mined it out, again it stops, so we're going to have to mine out a little bit more, And now we have dust. And as you see, we had some crushed iron ore left over. Save that, because then whenever you do this again, you'll be able to go through, and it's starting to get nighttime, so I'm going to reset it to becoming day. So after all this is said and done, I'll go ahead and get all this recipe. Whoops. Because I'm smart like that. That's the best way to do it. I mean, that's the only way you can do this recipe, right? Just throw it all on the ground and there you go. But no. So we get this and this. And there we go. We're going to have 2 powder left over. So we automatically have 58 left over. We started out with 2 stacks of iron. Okay, 2 stacks of regular iron ore. We crushed it all the way down to dust. We now have 58 extra blocks of the iron ore dust, which is going to give us the equivalent of 116 extra ore. So 256 was our starting iron ingot production on those 2 stacks. We now have another 116 on top of that 256. So that in turn is going to give us well over 360. I think it's like what, 307, 256, and then the 116 is 6272, 372 ingots. Went from 256 ingots to 372 ingots, like that. Okay, all from just 2 stacks of iron. Now you're probably going to want to start going through and doing a massive mine out with the excavator. Do that, because that'll immensely help you. It'll show you a whole bunch of other ores. So another thing is, one specific recipe in terms of the generators, like I read off to you at the very beginning. You're gonna need to make, or you're gonna need to have 64 stacks plus 16 of just redstone ore for 1 item during the quest line of the generators. That's not even including all the iron you're going to need, and all the gold you're going to need, and all the ender pearls you're going to need. You're going to need an immense amount of resources. So this right here, it's going to help you in terms of getting copper, getting silver, getting aluminum, getting iron, getting gold. Anything that allows you to smelt it down in the smeltery, use this process. It will help you out greatly, and I really hope that this tutorial actually kind of gave you a little bit of an insight on how to potentially just double your ore production like that. Okay, maybe not double it, but you can get a crap load more. So if this tutorial did help you out in any way, shape, or form, please leave a like rating. If you have any comments or concerns about it, put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to read them. I also have a series going on for Questing Mayhem. I also stream it. So if you want to, feel free to subscribe, so you can go check out that, or you can just click on my name down below and you can click on it that way. But yeah, feel free to stop by and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I will see y'all in my next upload. Later, guys.